Hey there, knife fans. Love Them Knives channel, LTK, drinking some coffee. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, I saw this knife on eBay. And the seller is YYKKYY77. And he puts all these different TwoSun knives up, starts them at $1, lets them go for 7 days. And then they, whoever the high bidder is wins, right? And I go, man, I watched him and watched him. And it's like a dog watching something spin around, trying to figure out when he's going to jump in and grab that. And I'm going, damn, they're going for some money. I remember the day when you could jump in and maybe grab one for like $38 or something and run away with it like a dog with a bone. But hell no, not no more. Too many people know about these knives. And it's really pissing me off. If those people would just go away and let me pay next to nothing for one. But no, they want a knife too. And they know one thing. They know these are quality knives. And they are for the money. They really are. So I jumped in there and gave up my dreams of getting something under $50. And I snagged this one at $61. Free shipping from China. It didn't take that long. I don't know that it even took 2 weeks. But some people are scared of going over to China, on DHgate and AliExpress and buying a knife there, but they don't mind doing it through eBay. Well, same seller. I mean, if you go on DHgate, you'll see the same red background and the same kind of posing, except you won't see this knife doing that. I could not find this knife on DHgate or AliExpress. And so I messaged this guy and I go, can't I just buy it for a fixed price? Because I don't want to compete with these guys. Sometimes this knife goes for like $80. It just depends on who's dead set on getting one. And then he just relists it and lets it go again. So this is the TwoSun TS16W, as you probably, saw on here. TS16W. D2 steel. Flipper. Night morning design. And here we go. Night morning design. TwoSun D2. Well, before we get into the specs, because this is a decent sized blade. This is like 3 3/4 inch. So this is a good sized knife. A lot of the TwoSun knives are like 3.5 or maybe under as far as blade size goes. Blade size. But these, no, this is a bigger knife, which I like. And they just come in these little boxes. There's nothing to them, folks. There's just nothing to them. Psh, donk. Just a little, brown, just plain old box. Nothing fancy there. But I'll tell you what, look at that. See, and they have the same design, the same knife in more like a bead blast. This is more just the kind of the raw tie, which I like. It's a little shinier, a little more glitzy, maybe. You got your nicely machined pivots here, accessible with your Torx. Wow. See these cut throughs here? So you can see the blade through the scales, which, I like the design. And then you got these lines coming along here in the middle, up these three. It's really cool. Nothing fancy about these screws here. They're not real flattened or, machined type. But, hey, they're workable. Backspacer's nice. Pocket clip, very nicely machined, sculpted look to it. Not just a cheap stamped spring, clip. And hold on. Let's confirm a few things. Yep, that's titanium. Yep. Well, it's not aluminum. I can just tell you that right now. I know aluminum when I hold it in my hand. No, this is not aluminum. It's not magnetic. And they say it's titanium. I'm believing that. So, yeah. Well, the hardware's stainless, but I mean, they always come so nice out of the box. So, I mean, it's a little goopy. I mean, oh, maybe I threw that wrapper away. They come bagged like, I don't know. They come in like a little cellophane wrapper, and then they twist it and knot it on the top, and it's got all kinds of oil in there. But you know, you got D2, and they're worried about corrosion and stuff, so it keeps it fresh. It keeps it gooey. I mean, when you get it out of the bag, it's like, okay, time to wipe it down. But that's okay. Pocket clip, I like that, don't you? I mean, I like this design. I think this might be my new favorite TwoSun design. It's just everything about it. These lines here, the length of the knife, this kind of blocked off, you know, chunky look to it, yet everything is rounded, milled, done well. You've got your set insert. If we can take a look at that, yes, you got a hardened steel insert with detent, and you can see the little over travel stop in there through that cut through. So you got the whole deal there. I mean, like any knife would have that would be even $300 or $400 or $500. And you got titanium, which a lot of knives would have for $300 or $400 or $500. You know what? If I had 2 or 3 of these, this is a real thought process for Anno. You know, you could do like gold on these insets here, and then do a blue or green or some, you know, other color. I mean, you can't get titanium hardware for these. That's the problem. So you got to leave that as silver. So you might just do blue, leave the inserts silver, and do that. I don't know. It's just a thought. And then, you know, you could do the pocket clip, the back spacer, alternate colors or contrasting. I mean, it really kind of begs maybe for an Anno job, although it looks very industrial the way it is. It's pretty cool the way it is. It's just kind of this very industrial look, very machined, very mechanical type thing. Look at the back spacer. I mean, it's a function of, I mean, the lanyard hole. It's a function, it's an add-on to the back spacer. And maybe an extra little, you know, head knocker. Wow. You got one screw, which I'm not big on because the pocket clip can move, but this is set in to the scale. It's not moving. So it makes it very simple. This is all done very nicely. No sharp edges here. Wow. And it, you know, when I first got it out, I'm going, damn, boys. That's some detent. I mean, that's some detent. It's softened up. I mean, I've flipped it probably 100 times or more. And I did just dump a little bit of machine oil on the pivot. I didn't take it apart and actually just put it directly on the bearings, and with working it a little bit, you know, it can come drenched in oil, but there's nothing on the actual bearings. It's so weird. There's your blade stop. But wow, that's got strong detent. That is not a gravity flip knife. I mean, good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck with it. It's just not a gravity flip knife. It's very strong detent. You know, and there's times when I think you can get too much detent. So you got jimping on the front of that flipper tab. When you can get too much detent, but this is okay. Yeah, this is, I mean, the way it is right now, it's just about right. Maybe a little strong on the detent. But you know what? As time goes by, my thinking is better to start with a stronger detent than not, because the detent may be less strong in the future with time and wear. So better to start with a stronger one. And wow, that baby Please don't do that on my thumb anymore. I mean, that thing is finally healed up. Wow, because I just threw the blade down on my thumb once. Not with this knife, but I was being stupid. Wasn't paying attention. Really nice. Easy to, oh, how did I do that? My finger came off the tab. But wow, it's almost impossible to make this blade fail on a flip. It flips so well. What do you think? I mean, damn, I'm sorry we got into here and I've been pondering this knife. 3 3/4 inches, which is 9.5 centimeters, and then overall 8 5/8, which is almost 22 centimeters. I sit there and ponder the knife and I haven't done the stats. Yeah, less than a 1/2 inch, but I think I need to measure on top of the scale. Yeah, well, okay. It's still under a 1/2 inch. It's 0.47 of an inch. And that's about 12 millimeters. Let's check this blade stock. 3.5, 3.6. That's not bad. 0.141. So it's, it's thicker than an 1/8. 3.5 millimeter. That's nice. It's, it's not stone washed or anything. It's a satin finish. So, they milled it and you can, this, if I had the equipment, this was going to be an EDC, a regular carry knife for me on a regular basis, I would probably touch this thing with, either hit it with a little Dremel or a sanding belt to just knock down these edges. I'd probably take the knife apart and take the blade itself to go all the way back here. But I'd hit these edges because they're sharp. Like sharp, like gonna cut you? Maybe. That's pretty sharp. That's a pretty sharp edge there on both sides. That's just like a freshly milled thing, and nobody even took nobody took a burring tool or anything to it. Nobody touched it on a belt, nothing to knock that edge off. Same up here. A little bit more. Here, no, not a problem because you got that grind that's taking that off there. No, it's not sharp. But that is, you can feel that edge. I guess that's my main bitch on this knife is this thing here. And that's really not much, is it? How likely are you to be down this blade? And if you do, you don't feel that edge until you go sideways on it like this. And then if you put pressure and you really slip your finger with a lot of pressure, you maybe could cut it. Maybe could cut it. So yeah, that's a little much, but usually I don't get over on the blade. I usually stay back here on the scales on the top. So whatever. Let's see if we can cut our own ad of ourselves. Yes, we can. And yes, it is nice, sharp, really sharp. So this seller, I think I've got another one of these coming because, and you know what? I messaged him and I said, you know what? I would like to just buy outright. And he says, what price would you like to pay? And that was really a crazy question because I go, well, if you're going to ask me to set the price, I don't think you want to go down that road. I told him $50 and he goes, oh, that's a low price. In any case, so I can't remember what I paid him, somewhere between $50 and $60, and I got another one coming, but it wasn't through eBay. And I asked him about some of the other knives that he's selling. There's a nice Tonto one that's like the TS20 or 21, the Tonto one, but it's silver and it's got a real fancy scale to it. If you go on to look at his sales on eBay, you'll see it. And it's crazy. And I'm going, I want that one too. And he said something like, hold off for 15 days because we're going to make a change to the knife or something and make it better. So I'm waiting. But yeah, it never hurts to ask the seller, you know, if you can just buy one straight out. Because I couldn't see one on Ollie or DHgate. Now, if you have links to this knife, I see the Tonto one on DHgate, and I think they wanted like 51 bucks or something. So, I mean, it's very doable. Maybe 55. I can't remember. But yeah. But they have one that has a real pebble grain in the Tanto scale. And that I haven't seen. I've seen the one where the grain is on those little triangles up and down the scale. You'll see it when you check it out. But if you go on eBay, just type in TwoSun, all one word, like this, all one word, although it's like that, TwoSun knife. And then you'll find this seller, YYKKYY77. So I'll give him, you know, I mean, he's got 99.4% positive feedback with almost 14,000 transactions. They be loving his knives. And the whole point of this channel is to love them knives. So we're loving them knives anyhow. Get out of here. Wow. I swear to God. I'm making a mess over here. But yes, have you noticed the satin grind on this knife? And my fingerprints all over the damn thing? Yeah. Stonewash is nice. I think with this one, since it's not a bead blasted knife finish on here, that satin is pretty appropriate, actually. So I kind of like this tough industrial look of this thing. But I think maybe I might have to call my buddy Nick in New York or email him and say, maybe you ought to do a little anno on this, because I think it'd be really cool. In any case, TwoSun 3 3/4 inch blade. Nice length on the blade. Oh crap! Sorry, I never weighed it up for you. 4.3, not bad. You know, what is that in grams? Let's go down that road. 122 grams. Pretty light knife, isn't it? Considering, you know, just shy of a 4-inch blade. 3.5 millimeter stock. But you know, the cutouts probably make a difference. But you got a solid backspacer here too. So, I mean, that weighs something too. Good deal. Nice and light. Easy, slim profile here. Like I was showing you. I mean, pretty slim profile. Under a 1/2 inch. So 0.46 of an inch. Really. But wow, there's a lot of blade there. Like a modified sheep's foot. I love how they're carrying this on. You know, have you seen this? I mean, you notice how this design kind of carries through. And then you've got these other lines running back through here as well. And then these lines lengthwise along with these lines running this way. So there was some thought process to that design, because it was a night morning design. I have breakfast in the night morning. It's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody out there, my buddy with China Blogspot, he watches some of my videos. Maybe you can chime in and tell me the meaning of night morning. But whatever it is, and there are several designs that he's done. If you look at the models that are for sale on eBay, wow. Yes, he's done several of them, and they're really nice looking knives too. This is good design. So whoever's doing this design work, it's really good. I'm liking it. These are my favorite TwoSun knives. This, the Tonto, and then the one I just did about a week ago, and I can't remember what that was. Was that a TS39? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But wow. Yes, I like this one very much. TwoSun knives, they keep getting better and better. They're doing a good job. Nice bearings, no blade play, no lock rock. I mean, there's nothing there. There's no blade play there, no lock rock there. Perfectly centered. Just interesting knives. Look at how heavy the stock is on the end there. I mean, that's just crazy heavy. If we can get focused on it, I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about that. Really cool. Very nice. But so heavy here. It's nice, interesting. Take care, guys. We're just having too much fun here at this channel. We've got more stuff coming, and a lot of stuff that we've done in the past. I appreciate your subscription to my channel, and I hope these are some knives that are fascinating to you as well. I'm kind of doing it for me, and I was just hoping that maybe these are knives that you're interested in too, or that are kind of fascinating. So stay in touch. If this is the kind of stuff you like seeing, stay tuned. We love them knives. Yes, we do.